who is leading, who is leading the Silver Peak in India as well. And then we have Shailendra, who is representing Zscaler today. So today we are going to have a bit of discussion on how SASE and the Silver Peak is integrating along with the Zscaler. So to set the agenda today, first of all, we will be having a high level brief or overview from Shailendra, and after that Shekhar will help you show how whatever we speak on Silver Peak, he will be showing you a live demo today on the on this portal, on this forum today. And feel free to ask any of your questions, whatever you have with respect to the integration, with respect to Zscaler separately, or with respect to the Silver Peak or the SASE that we have here. Also, if you have any questions, I would want you to put them in a Q&A slide. You can see that we have, besides chat, we have Q&A. You can just put your questions there so that we'll be able to answer it thoroughly, and it will also help us document those questions. Also, at the end of this session, the last 10 minutes, we will have a quiz round. And please make sure that you are paying attention to whatever Shailendra and Shekhar are talking today. These quizzes will be based on whatever interactions we are having today on this forum. And lucky 5 participants will be getting some really good prizes based on that, based on the questions and the responses that they are giving. So I just wish all of the best to all of you. And over to Shailendra. So please do take the stage.
Thanks, Ansra. Thank you so much for this introduction. And I welcome everyone for this virtual session, and good evening to everyone. It's my pleasure to meet you all. And in next 15 to 20 minutes, we are going to talk about at very high level how the Zscaler and Aruba is the partnership we do have, and the kind of relationship and the kind of technology we are having in terms of integration and helping our clients to do a digital transformation. So let me share my screen. Allow me a minute. Okay. Yeah. Shekhar, I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, Shailendra.
Thank you so much for this information. So we have all gone through and beyond just discussing the possibility of application are moving towards cloud, because it's a part of the digital transformation. And after some survey, we have found out that approx 39% of company now have cloud first strategy. Why the cloud first strategy? Because it's providing agility, doing things fast, and 83% of enterprise workloads have already moved to the cloud, and 60% of the companies are adopting cloud to improve their branch and remote worker. Why this is important? Because in present scenario, users are directly to internet, and the kind of architecture we have made in the previous era or before the pandemic situation, that was the castle and moat architecture, where we are backhauling the entire data either to the data center or maybe from branch or data center to apply the security. In this slide, we are going to talk about the traditional networking and security architecture is inhibiting you to get your ability, and that is not give you the complete gain of the benefits of the cloud movement. Why? Because business is ever changing, cloud infrastructure is always evolving, applications are updated continuously, new threats are coming, new advanced threats are coming continuously. Cloud vendors are keep innovating. So the same situation, the security must evolve to the address of dissolving perimeter. Because why the security must evolve to the address dissolving perimeter? Because in the cloud era, users are directly to internet. So it's very important to keep a pace of your digital digital transformation with the cloud stuff. In my next slide, if you talk about the digital transformation, what does digital transformation require? The digital transformation required basically the modern cloud applications. The modern cloud applications means it could be a Slack, it could be a Zoom, it could be a Dropbox, and this modern cloud applications also require the cloud, a modern cloud infrastructure. It could be Amazon, it could be GCP, and so on, maybe a private application. But if the application or modern or applications are moving to the cloud and infrastructure is also is modern, then what about the security and the branch security? And that's why the Aruba and the Zscaler play a very important role while doing a digital transformation, and by by missing passage ban and security transformation, the filling the gap. Cloud breaks legacy network. I mean, in this slide, we are just talking about the hardcore, typical legacy network where all the branches are connected to the data centers, or for that matters, users are trying to access any of this cloud-based applications. They first of all have to come to the data centers, the security will get applied, and then they are able to access the application. And that the outcome of all this is to slow, unpredictable performance, latency, impaired application performance, inability to achieve SLA, poor visibility, and so on. So since applications are moving to the cloud, the legacy network and security architecture cannot keep up, right? And that's why while we're talking about the new applications, we have to definitely talk about the cloud transformation as well. When we talk about the legacy technology, we are really talking about the two predominant stuff. One is the entire backhauling of the traffic. The backhauling means all the branch users, or for that matter, the roaming users, are coming the data centers to apply the policy, and after the applying the policy, they are moving ahead. And the second thing is put all the branch firewalls or stacks of security appliances at each and every branch. Now, say for example, if my data center is having a load balancer, IPS, firewall, and so on, and if I wanted to have the same kind of security in my data center, there is no other way out apart from putting the whole bunch of stack onto the data center as well. And what happens finally once you provide this kind of infrastructure onto all the branches, since you are avoiding the backhauling the traffic, it leads to higher cost. Higher cost means you are providing the entire stack of security to the multiple branches. Now, say for example, if you have 30 or 40 or 50 branches, the replication of the data center security to entire branches will leads to heavy cost. Second thing, MPLS backhauling network cost, and third is the administration overhead. Now, instead of managing the one infrastructure at the data center, now you are managing more than 30, 40, or 50 offices or branch heads as per your the number of network or the number of data centers or the number of the branches you have. And that's how the Aruba and Zscaler is playing a very important role out here, that how Aruba can provide the same level of security what data center can provide by creating a simple tunnel. If the Shekhar will do a live demonstration that how to create with the help of the few steps, how easily we can create an IPsec or a GRA tunnel with the Zero Trust Exchange, and we can provide the same level of security whatever we are providing at the data center level. So no need to backhaul the entire traffic. You just can directly to internet. We can provision the same security whatever we provide at the data center level. In this example, we are talking about the leaders in security digital transformation. So Zscaler as a company is leaders in digital transformation. We are helping our clients to do a digital transformation. And let me give you some background of Zscaler before we started. So overall, the mission of the Zscaler is to make cloud a safe place to do a business and enjoyable for all the users, right? And the Zscaler was founded to help you to move from traditional network security to the zero trust architecture, where if simply we talk about the zero trust architecture means the zero trust architecture or ZTNA means to provide the least privilege access. So having said that, if I'm providing an access to an application, I have to make sure that I am not going to provide the complete network access. We will provide the least privilege access, and that's how the Zero Trust Exchange works. And why we are leaders in digital transformation, in the right hand side, I have given some examples. We have approx 150 data centers across the globe. We are blocking almost 7 billion violations every day, and approx 2,500 of 2,000 companies relying on the Zscaler technology. A few more examples why Zscaler is so prominent in digital transformation journey, because as far as the GE is concerned, 80% faster user experience. NOV experienced 35x fewer infected machines. With the other technology, the number of infection into the network was much higher, and after deploying the Zscaler, the infection of the machines drastically decreased to 35x. And Siemens is one of the largest example we do have. They operate in more than 100 countries, and they have 100 applications. They realize 70% of the cost reduction while doing that, while deploying the Zscaler technology or the Zero Trust technology. So since Zero Trust is a buzzword into the market, and the Zero Trust is simply not about a single technology like identity or remote access or network segmentation. Zero Trust is a strategy, a foundation upon which build a security system. So prominently, we believe that there are 3 to 5 components must have to follow the Zero Trust technology. I will definitely talk about in my next slide about this. So these are the 5 factors which must consider once you are considering about the Zero Trust architecture. The first and the foremost thing is applications should not expose to the internet. You can't attack, you cannot see. It simply means once you are trying to connect an application, say for example, I'm a roaming user, I wanted to connect to my data center. So I have to make sure that if there are 100 applications into the data center, I should not connect to all the 100 applications the way it happens in IPsec. I should only connect to the application applications sitting into the data center that should not expose to the internet. And since this application cannot expose to the internet, it's not get compromised. And that's what we say, that no need to deploy your DDoS, firewall, and IPS into the data center, because we are minimizing the risk of security, the risk of incident and the risk of any cyber threat. The second thing is connect a user to an application, not to the network. So in traditional IPsec, what happens the moment you connect to the data center via IPsec or via SSL, you simply get an IP address and connect to the entire network. While the Zero Trust technology, we have to make sure the users are not connecting to the network, they are connecting to the application, and that too against the ports and the protocol. And the third and the most important thing is the proxy architecture, not the pass-through. Most of the firewall technology are the pass-through architecture. They do not inspect the entire packets. So the proxy architecture, the most important if we are concerned about the security. Apart from proxy, SSL interception is also very important in today's world, because we all understand more than 80 and 90% applications are encrypted. So if we are not inspecting those traffic, that is mean blind spot to that traffic. And proxy architecture is important because we make sure that we download the entire payload, do an SSL inspection. If the traffic is clean, we send it to the client. And if the traffic is malicious, we have to make sure that connection has been terminated at the proxy level or the gateway level. The fourth is the multi-tenant architecture. So the cloud native multi-tenant architecture is very important, because you are living into the cloud world, and definitely you want everything has to be on the fly. And so if there are many vendors, they are talking about putting the VMs onto the cloud and try to create a multi-tenant architecture. I can give you one classic example. If somebody is trying to build a Netflix by putting the DVD players into the data centers, that is next to impossible, because the millions and trillions of movies and songs are there. And by putting the DVD players, you cannot create a multi-tenant architecture. And the fifth is the last one is the SASE. SASE is also a new buzzword in the industry that simply means the secure access and service edge. This is really very important because complexity is the enemy of security. It simply having said that, we have to make sure that once we provide the security, once we provide the networking, it should be nearest from the user. It should not like if I say, for example, I am based in India and the security has been provided from the so far away, so that the latency will be high and the end user experience should be very low. And that's the whole region. We have approx 150 data centers across the globe, where we make sure that whenever you are traveling or wherever you are going, the policy is following you, and the policy has been deployed from the nearest data center. And just to tell you, we have 3+ data centers in India. One is in Delhi, one is in Mumbai, and one in Chennai. So no matter wherever you are, we make sure that you are connected to the nearest pod. This is the four area of functionality where the Zscaler operates. The first we called as the GIA, and GIA stands for Zscaler Internet Access. The function of the GIA is simply as a proxy, and it basically what it does. You just need to access to the internet for SASE application. So that's how the GIA comes in picture. The second is the Zscaler private access. So if users need to access to the private applications, so that's how this comes in picture. And the third is you need to ensure that good users to have a good experience. So how do we make sure that if you are accessing your application remotely, what is the user's experience? So that's how the digital experience as a technology will enhance and will provide you the root cause analysis, what went wrong and how the application performance is. And the fourth is the secure apps and workload protection. So this simply talk about your workload into the public cloud, Amazon, AWS, or GCP. So the major things, major faults or major attack happens just because of the misconfiguration. So we have a tool called CSPM, Cloud Security and Posture Management, and with the CSPM we can let you know that if any of the misconfiguration is there onto the system, either we can do the auto remediation or we can guide you to the steps that how can you minimize the risk, or for that matter, if you are following any compliance in this secure workload protection, we are managing more than 14 to 15 compliances. So within a click, you may come to know whether you are a HIPAA compliance or you are PCI DSS compliance or you are a NIST compliance, and how much compliant you are. It's a 60%, it's a 70% or 80%, and what all things will be required to do a complete compliance, right? So there's just one thing about the proxy GIA, because once we talk about the web security, once we talk about the proxy, most of the vendors just think about AT and 443. But nowadays, attackers are very, very smart. They do not only attack on AT and 443. They always try to attack on the non-standard protocols, maybe 100, 200, or 300. And the another way of attack is the DNS query. Most of the vendors do not intercept port 53 protocol, and what attackers are doing nowadays, they are trying to put some malicious code into the DNS query, and that's how they are trying to do the data exfiltration. So as far as the Zscaler GIA is concerned, it's a combination of the firewall. We intercept all ports and protocol. We do have IPS function built into our platform. We do SSL interception by default for the 100% traffic. We do sandboxing, and that is also it's a part of the sandboxing the platform. And we also do the URL filtering. So URL filtering, DLP, CASB, firewall, IPS, it's all a part of the platform. And that's how we are trying to protect that all good things are within your network, all bad things has to be stopped at the gateway level. And the beauty of the entire solution is the simplicity of the ID. Now, say for example, how do we do that? We simply install a very small agent onto your machine, and that agent will take care for the internet or intranet and end user experience, all three in one agent. So having said that, say for example, if the agent is installed onto your machine, if you are going towards internet, the policy will be following you. You cannot go any of the malicious site or any of the sites where the admin has not given you the edge. In case you wanted to access a private application, the same agent will be working for the accessing the private application based on our identity. And plus the ZDX will also let you realize that the experience of the application. Now, say for example, the Salesforce.com, or for that matter, Office 365, if they are running slow, why they are running slow, it is something wrong with the application or something wrong with your system, and so on. We can let you know about this. So this is all about the four category of the Zscaler offering of the product. At a very high level, what we do in terms of security. So just to make you realize that we have 150 data centers across the globe, and that is called the policy enforcement node, that is SASE. We are intercepting approx 150 billion requests every day. We are blocking 7 billion threats, and we are unique security updates approx 150K plus every day. And just to prove that we are doing things right, we have on the left-hand side, we have this peering of Internet Exchange and plus certification. So we are FIPS certified, ITR certified, DRAM certified. So this show that we are up to the mark for as far as the cloud security is concerned. And this is most probably is my last slide, where the perfect complement are delivering a SASE architecture, and that is, the Zscaler and the Aruba. The Zscaler and Aruba perfectly complement each other to deliver a SASE architecture that enables organization to embrace digital transformation. So no matter it's a branch connectivity or it's a data centers, with the help of the Zscaler and the Aruba, we can make sure that you are following the GTNA approach and following the zero trust security approach. And this is my last slide, and thank you so much for being with us. If you have any questions, please free to ask me right away, or maybe you can drop a message on the chat window as well. Thank you so much, and I'm handing over to Seeker for the live demonstration of Zscaler and Aruba function.
Thank you, Shailendra, for the overview of Zscaler offerings and how we can integrate. So, Shailendra, if you can stop sharing your screen, then I can. Okay. All right. So I hope my screen is visible. Shailendra?
Not yet.
One sec. How about now?
Yeah, it's okay.
All right. So so now, as Shailendra has mentioned, that the future is the cloud web security, right? So not at every branch level you can have the entire stack of security. So you have to have something that is based out in the cloud, so that you can have one single plane to manage the entire security architecture for the enterprise. So, but again, there is a problem that arises with the legacy WAN infrastructure, and that problem is that, how do you connect all your branch devices to the nearest Zen location, to the nearest Zen Zscaler cloud to get that particular security, right? So now that would involve a lot of manual work, and how Aruba can help, Aruba Edge Connect SD-WAN, which, used to be Silver Peak, now being rebranded as Aruba Edge Connect, how it can help in, in solving that problem for you and give you a complete package to complete the SASE journey, right? So this is what I'm going to present. So I will be, going through some slides now. I'm not going to bore you with a lot of slides. So a few slides, and then I'll jump onto the demo. So Silver Peak has been named as the Gartner's Magic Quadrant leader for WAN edge infrastructure for 3 years in a row, right? And apart from that, Silver Peak has been working on the WAN side of the thing, being laser focused on the WAN technology for more than 18 years. And it's a great product that can resolve all kind of WAN issues for you. Combined with Zscaler, the solution can give the complete package that is required to complete the SASE journey. How exactly does that work? So let me right away jump onto that. So on this graphic, what I'm trying to show is that let's imagine that this is the hub side or the data center where maybe you have a large stack of security infrastructure, and then at the branch level, a branch, in my opinion, and not only in my opinion, like how the industry is moving forward is that branch is becoming thin in architecture, right? So there should be just one WAN edge device that can perform the job of a router or a WAN optimization or things like that. And for the security, as cloud is where the future is, and that's how the Zscaler architecture would help you complete that story, that security story. So this is how exactly it works. Like, for site to site traffic, with SD-WAN, you would have from your branch office to your data center, you do not have no problem. You have IPsec tunnels, all your data is being encrypted. Now, This is where Silver Peak or Aruba Edge Connect advantage comes in. That there is this special technique of adaptive and intelligent internet breakout. So when I say adaptive and intelligent internet breakout, that it can identify any application from the first packet itself, right? So this is a patented technology of Aruba Edge Connect, that from the very first packet of the flow, it would be able to identify, which application it is. Natively, it identifies more than 13,000 applications. And this database, this just keeps on increasing and increasing, right? So every SaaS provider would be adding on to the IP addresses, or making the signature change in their in their application. So that information is continuously maintained by Silver Peak's cloud portal, and then pushed out to orchestrator, the Aruba orchestrator, every 24 hours, and then pushed out to the appliances, right? So the appliances, they are aware of the changing environment as far as SaaS applications are concerned. That is the reason why, out of the box, it would be able to identify more than 13,000 applications. Now, why is that important? That is important, maybe, for this reason, right? So let's say there are some trusted applications, maybe 8x8 Ring Central, Teams, Zoom traffic, which, what as a network admin you would want is that you would want that traffic to reach those trusted applications as soon as possible, right? So maybe for those applications, you can just do a direct internet breakout from the Edge Connect appliance itself, from the branch. And for rest of the internet bound traffic, or or even to access the cloud applications, maybe you would just want to send it through the cloud web security that Shailendra has just talked about, which has all these functionalities, like NGFW, IDS, IPS. I think Shailendra has already gone over all this, so I'm not going to bore you guys again, by saying the same thing. But this is basically what you can do. You can pick and choose your applications. The trusted applications can go directly to the internet. The untrusted applications, you can forward them to the Zscaler cloud, and from there it can access the web, right? So what is the advantage of that? The advantage of using Aruba Edge Connect with Zscaler is the kind of integration that is there between the two solutions, right? So the orchestrator, how, like, imagine the number of sites that you would have, like let's say you have 100 or 200 of sites. So it becomes a big pain in configuring all those tunnels manually from the legacy routers, and then pushing the traffic towards Zscaler. That is where Aruba Edge Connect comes in, how it can help you build those tunnels. So for example, in this scenario, let's say that this is the branch office where you have two internet circuits from ISP1 and ISP2. So the solution, the integrated solution would be smart enough to identify, as Shailendra has mentioned, that Zscaler has 3 data centers in India, right? So one, Chennai, Mumbai, and Delhi. So the Edge Connect appliance will be smart enough to identify, which is the nearest Zen location, right? And which is the second nearest Zen location as far as the geographical boundaries are concerned. Now, it would be able to automatically build the IPsec or GRE tunnels, as per the configuration that you would do. It would be able to build the primary tunnel from both the internet service providers. Like, for example, over here, you see the green one. So this is the primary tunnel number 1. This is the primary tunnel number 2. Similarly, it would also build these secondary tunnels to the secondary Zen location, which would be the second nearest Zen location, right? So it would be secondary tunnel number 1 and secondary tunnel number 2, right? And now the Edge Connect solution would be able to load balance your traffic between both the tunnels. It would be able to monitor the health of the tunnels using advanced IPSLA that can measure loss, latency, jitter, those kind of things, reachability as well to Zscaler, and on the basis of that, it can intelligently steer the traffic accordingly, right? And whenever if there is a need of failover, that again it is a sub-second failover, so user experience would be way better. Now, there is another concept of having sub-locations, right? When you're configuring things in the Zscaler cloud, right? So with sub-locations, what exactly does it mean? That from one physical location, from one branch, maybe you would have 3 different subnets, right? So maybe internal LAN, guest Wi-Fi, IoT, and you might want to apply different security policies on these sublocations. So there is a way that you can, go to the Zscaler cloud and configure those things. But again, that is a little manual process. So how this combined solution of Aruba, Edge Connect, and Zscaler integration is going to help is that from the Aruba orchestrator itself, you would be able to control the gateway options for the sublocations as well. So that, for example, for the internal traffic, yes, you would want to do SSL inspection and user authentication. But for the guest Wi-Fi, maybe you do not want to do user authentication, or you do not want to do SSL inspection. You would just want to do basic firewalling via Zscaler. Some different configuration for IoT. You would want to do SSL inspection. Again, those things can't do user authentication, so you would disable user authentication. So these things, all these things can be configured from one single pane of glass itself, which is the Aruba orchestrator that is already managing your entire WAN environment. So I'm not sure if I have already mentioned that or not. So Aruba Edge Connect are the appliances that you deploy at data center and the branches, which are the SD-WAN appliances. And Aruba Orchestrator is the management plane that manages your entire SD-WAN infrastructure, right? So from Aruba Orchestrator, you would be able to push down these gateway policies as well. And it is just that, that just once you would have to log into the Zscaler cloud, get the API information, put that information in the orchestrator, and let the orchestrator do the job for you, right? And all that process is automated. So I'm going to cover that in the demo. I'm going to show you, how exactly this is done. So in this slide, there are a couple of graphics that I wanted to just show that, how time can be reduced in deploying the Zscaler environment, right, with Aruba Edge Connect, or vice versa, right? So what happens is, let's say that you have 200 different sites, right? And on 200 different sites, you would have to go to each WAN edge device, configure the tunnels, right? Do the same thing at the Zscaler end as well on the Zen cloud. Now, with using Aruba Edge Connect as the WAN solution, what you can do is that that we had started building the API integration with Zscaler a long time back, and we have we have gone ahead miles ahead as far as the competition is concerned, right? So what basically we can do is we can leverage all the APIs that are opened by Zscaler. So that includes building the tunnels automatically. That includes doing the sublocations that I just showed you, right? So basically, without compromising the security, we can reduce the time to deploy those tunnels automatically and give the Zscaler Cloud Web Security to all our branch locations. So one would just need to put the subscription information here. This is something that I'm going to cover in the demo as well. Then the tunnel settings, interface labels that you identify, which are going to be the primary. Then the gateway options, that we just talked about, that you can control the gateway options from the orchestrator itself. And that's it. You just apply those overlays, wherever you have selected Zscaler to be the preferred breakout method. And all that traffic, matching that particular overlay is going to go to the Zscaler cloud for filtering for advanced web security. Now, there is another aspect to to complete the SASE story, right? So as I said, that the Edge Connect solution, it can identify more than 13,000 applications from the first packet of the flow itself, right? So that is very good to do the application aware routing and building the application aware security. Now, since Aruba acquired Silver Peak last year only, so the integration of the grid products have already started happening. Now, the very first product to get integrated is the ClearPass. So ClearPass, as you would know, is the market-leading NAC solution from Aruba. Now, ClearPass and Edge Connect, they can be integrated again using APIs, right? So the Aruba orchestrator would collect the user role or context information from ClearPass in real time and then pass it on to the appliances. Now the appliances, along with identifying the applications, they would also have information about all the context information of the devices connected, right? What kind of user that is, what is the role of that user? What type of device it is, right? So whether it is a corporate device or whether it is an IoT device, what is the security posture, whether the device health is good or not. So now we can take the routing and security policy configuration using both the context-driven information and application-driven information, right? So, for example, I can set that if any of my user from such so and so department is trying to access this particular application, maybe I would want to send that traffic to Zscaler, right? So we can configure that. So now it can go to that granular level, right? So it's the micro segmentation of the devices that we are talking about, and in today's day and age, with IoT coming in, this becomes of paramount importance to have that kind of visibility and that kind of control, granular control on the WAN edge device also. Now that's all that I wanted to show in these slides. I'll just move on to the demo pretty quick. So this is how the Aruba Orchestrator it looks like. Pretty cool dashboard, wherein on the left hand side you would have all your sites denoted by the appliances that are deployed. So this is one network that we have, wherein there are 106 appliances, right? 106 sites, you can say. So now let's say on these 106 sites I want to deploy Zscaler, so that all these sites can automatically build the IPsec tunnels to Zscaler cloud and start sending traffic, and leverage the security that we can get from Zscaler. So what do I need to do for that? So I would just need to go to this subscription tab, right? So this information you can fetch from the Zen Cloud. So once you get the partner password and the partner key for the API integration, you can put that information over here, save it. It will show you that it is connected with the Zscaler cloud, right? So that is the first thing that you do, and this whole workflow is in sequential manner. So first you do the subscription. Second, you would go to the interface labels. So the interface labels, they are WAN labels, right? So the WAN labels that you assign to all your Edge Connect appliances at different sites. So those WAN labels, you can just drag and drop, which one is going to be the primary or secondary, right? So let's say I want to have to whichever appliance, any appliance that has INET A, INET B, or INET C, like, Internet A, Internet B, Internet C, any of the appliance, if it has these many interfaces, or any of these interfaces, it will build primary tunnels from these interfaces, and backup I can put, for example, as LTE. So that means once all these tunnels to Zscaler is down, right? So that means if the internet service provider's network from these WAN labels is down, then it can also move to LTE connection, right? So I'll choose my my WAN circuits from where I would want to build the tunnels. Second thing is the tunnel settings, like what sort of security I would want to put on the tunnels, like, the mode, what should be the IAC version, or the encryption algorithm, authentication algorithm, right? The IPsec and authentication and encryption algorithm, all those things you can set from here. And actually that is it, right? So now what you need to do is your appliances will start building tunnels, and now you would just need to go to the business intent overlays, right? So when I move into the business intent overlays, now these business intent overlays, if you all are familiar with Aruba Edge Connect, this is the heart of the Aruba SD-WAN, right? So all the configuration of the entire SD-WAN network, 70 to 80% of the configuration is done on this one single page itself, right? So for example, what I would do is that I would go to my guest overlay, right? I want to send all my guest traffic to Zscaler. So I'll just click on this guest overlay. It'll bring up a page to where I can do the configuration. So just a sec. Okay. And now, I would just need to do, a couple of changes on this business intent overlay, that, I would just put Zscaler in the preferred policy order. So this is for the SD-WAN internal traffic, like, branch to data center traffic, how I want to treat that traffic. This page is regarding that. I would just move on to, break traffic to internet and cloud services, right? So this is my preferred policy order. So let's say that, Zscaler is what I'm going to use, right, to send all the traffic from guest overlay. So I'll just move Zscaler to the preferred policy order. click on OK, and then, save and apply changes, right? So whichever appliance here has this particular overlay applied, that appliance will automatically start building the tunnels to the Zscaler cloud, and it'll build multiple tunnels, primary and backup, depending upon, how many internet interfaces it has, and depending upon the interfaces labels that I chose over here. So these tunnels will start appearing here, in this manner, and it would tell you that, this particular tunnel is deployed and things like that. Now, this is not where it ends, right? So this is the basic thing that, using the API, it built all the tunnels and everything, pretty cool. But there is more to it, right? So if I go to the gateway options, now, for example, for this guest location that is set, or, or the guest sub location, I want to change the gateway options that I was talking about, right? So I would just click on the gateway options, and all these features that are, offered by Zscaler for the firewalling of this traffic, like firewall control, IPS, as Shailendra said, it is built into it. If you want to leverage IPS, I would just turn it on. Authentication, though I do not need authentication for guest traffic, so I've just turned it off, right? But it's pretty self-explanatory that that you can just toggle these switches on and off, and then just save it. You can also set the bandwidth, how much bandwidth you would want to set to this particular location or sub-location, right? So these are the things that you can control from here itself. You do not need to even go to the Zen Cloud. Like it's the integrated platform that it is, it is giving you ease of use and saving the time of the IT team in deploying complex stuff, right? One more thing is there, which is IPSLA, right? So as I talked about, that you would have, HTTP and HTTPS monitoring going on continuously over those tunnels. So it is going to be measuring that on the reachability. It will be measuring the loss. It would be measuring the latency as well. So you can set all these parameters. It is in the OR combination. So if any of these parameters are not met, that particular tunnel will not be used to forward the traffic, right? So imagine that, if you have to set, or if, if this was not Aruba Edge Connect SD-WAN, and I had to go to, each and every 106 appliances or 106 routers and configure these things manually, just imagine how many months project it is going to be, right? And then forget about, the human error that can cause, some misconfiguration, things not working properly, failover not happening properly, right? So the idea here is that, the SASE buzzword that we are talking about. So to complete the SASE journey, so the two most important pillars are cloud web security and SD-WAN, right? So with Aruba Edge Connect and Zscaler, you are gonna get best of breed SD-WAN along with best of breed cloud web security. That is the message that we are trying to give you, right? So I would say that, that these solutions combined, this is the best solution, in totality that you can get, and that can give you robustness, improve the user experience, and at the same time maintain security, right? So this is all that I wanted to present. So I'll just stop sharing my screen, and if there are any questions, I don't see any questions in Q&A. So if there are any questions, guys, please feel free to put that questions in the Q&A, and Shailendra and I will be happy to answer those questions.
Yeah, and thanks, Shekhar. It was an awesome session, and I would say the common thing between the two companies are they all are the leaders in there's a Gartner's quadrant, and even Zscaler is in the leaders quadrant since last 10 years. And in 2020 Gartner's report, we are the only company which are there in the Gartner leaders quadrant. So that's all about this relationship between Aruba and Zscaler. So please open up for any questions if anybody have.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you, Shailendra.
Okay, thank you, Shailendra. Thank you, Shekhar, for that wonderful session. George, do you have anything else to add?
No, let's go. Let's start the Qs, I think.
Okay, no, thank you so much. So please, just hold your horses, and now we are going to start with the quiz. So Lavin, can you initiate the first page? Okay, so here you can see that you have, the QR code that you can scan through your mobile phone, or if you want to just click through your PC. In the chat box, Hina has shared a link, trivia.mgasia.live. You can just click on that link. I'm also going to share it once again, just for everybody's sake, so that everybody gets in their chat box. You either click on that link or scan the QR code that is visible on the screen, and log in to the portal where we are going to have this quiz. You need to put your full name, full email address, official email address, because we'll be sending you prizes, or whatever you are winning through email addresses, and we need to have the legitimate details. Please do not put Batman or Superman, and we need your official email IDs and full names. Also, if you are putting your chats in, if you are putting your answers in the chat box or in the Q&A box, those will not be calculated. You will have to answer through the portal only. And once you are registered, the pointers, the questions will be shown to you on the screen, on your device screen. If you have logged in through your mobile phone, the questions will be shown to you through your mobile phone portal, or if you have logged in through your laptops, the questions will be shown to you on the laptops. If you know the correct answer and you know it very well, I would suggest you to just click on the answer to make you earn more pointers and make you a leader in the dashboard. So I think that is pretty much it. Lavin, how many people have joined?
Right now, 22 people have joined.
Okay, just allow them a minute so that everybody joins. If you have any concerns, put them in the chat so that we can guide you. You can scan this QR code that is shown to you on the screen, or you can click the link that is given to you in the chat box. Register with your full name and official email ID. Fastest finger first. Whoever marks the answers first, and whoever marks it the fastest will have more pointers. So do answer correctly and do answer your questions fast. Also, do not put any of your answers in the chat box. They will not be calculated. So that is something that I wanted to share, just a few ground rules so that everybody is on the same page. Are we ready to start the quiz? How many people have joined now?
Right now, 26 people have joined.
So approximately we have 50% attendance. Approximately. Okay, I think we should just start. Okay, I think we should just start. So you can see on the on the screen. If you are connecting through your mobile phones, it will be shown to you on the screen. And if you're connected through laptop, it will be shown to you on your PCs. So we will have some questions that will be displayed to you. You just need to click on the right answer. So let's start the game now. Game will begin in 10 seconds. You still have 10 seconds if you want to join through your devices. This is going to be interesting. It's going to be really fun. Okay, the first question is, how many applications can be identified by Silver Peak? 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, or 13,000 plus applications? Okay, time is running by. This is our first question. I think Shekhar had covered it pretty well in his. Okay, Lavin, can we have the right answer? 13,000. So I can see Mudassir putting values or answers in the chat box. Mudassir, please do not do that. I would suggest you not to do that, as I've mentioned it several times. That will not be calculated. Also, it may create confusion in the head of whoever wants to answer correctly. Okay, can we have the next question? How do ClearPass and Silver Peak integration help enterprise build and secure WAN infrastructure? Build a user-aware WAN infrastructure with micro-segmentation, deliver content filtering, deliver advanced malware detection, or all of the above? Mudassir, I request you to please not answer on the chat box. Loving, can we have the correct answer, please? A, build a user-aware WAN infrastructure with micro-segmentation. That is how ClearPass and Silver Peak integrations happen, and build a secure WAN infrastructure. Next question, please. How does self-driving WAN help customers in SASE transformation? Intelligently steer applications to cloud security solutions, deliver local internet breakout, automated connectivity from branches to cloud security solutions using API, or all of the above? Okay, time's up. Can we have the right answer? Okay, D, all of the above. Thank you very much. Can we have the next question? Who is the secure web gateway Gartner Magic Quadrant leader for the past 10 years and the only in leader 2020? Zscaler, Cisco, McAfee, or Broadcom? I think this was also pretty easily covered by Shailendra and Shekhar. Okay, time's up. Can we have the right answer? Zscaler is the leader quadrant for secure web gateway, Gartner Magic Quadrant. Okay, so we will have our last question now, question number 5. Question number 5 on the screen. Okay, what are the benefits of accessing the internet through Zscaler? Full SSL visibility, firewall or IPS sandboxing, URL filtering, DLP, browser isolation, or all of the above? Okay, thank you very much. So can we have the correct answer? It is all of the above. So now all of the questions are done. Can we have the leaderboard? Wow. Okay. So congratulations to the top 5 players. They have answered their questions correctly, as well as they have earned these many pointers. So congratulations to the team. All the vouchers and your prizes will be sent to you through the email. And I thank you for your time. I thank you for your patience, and looking forward to host you on many more Aruba Tech Talk sessions in the near future. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for joining the session, and have a good day.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good one. Bye.